Hey, somebody texted me and asked me for number 59 and 63, so here they are. Blood pressure. Medical study finds that the sample mean is 114.9 and the sample standard deviation is 9.3. Okay, 27 members of the treatment group. What is a standard error? Now, standard error is just a fancy word for that new standard deviation. And the new standard deviation is going to be the standard deviation, well, let me just write it. It is the standard deviation of the sample divided by the square root of how many you have in your sample. There you go. That is the standard error. And so if we plug that into the calculator, let's see, what did they say it was? 9.3 divided by the square root of 27. So the answer is 1.789, or pretty close to 1.79. And kind of what this means is that if we did this over and over again, our standard deviation would be about 1.79 for a sample size of 27. So that's what our standard error is. What our new standard deviation would be if we did this over and over again. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so what we're trying to figure out is the true average miles per gallon for this one vehicle. Now what we did is we figured out miles per gallon for this sample, right? And what we're going to do is a 95% confidence interval for what we think is the true average miles per gallon for this car. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to start with this. Here's my formula, and I put the numbers into list 1, and I got the sample average, or X bar, is 18.47 plus or minus. Well, I got to do the t distribution. Hold on a second. So in the t distribution, remember I go second bars and find inverse t, and the area is 0.975 for 95%, because there's 2.5% on either side. And the degrees of freedom is 19, because there were 20 in this list. Okay, anyway, I did all that, and I came out with, what was it? 2.09. 2.09. And I'm going to multiply that by the standard deviation. I'm going to go back into one variable statistics. 3.09. 3.09 divided by the square root of 20. Okay. So what I do is, remember, multiply all this stuff together, get a number, add it to that number, subtract it from that number, and you get your interval. So I kind of cheated and went into stat on the calculator, over to tests, and then down to a t-interval, and it put in the numbers to get this. And how do I interpret this? I say, well, I'm 95% confident that the true average miles per gallon for this vehicle is somewhere between 17 and 19.9 miles per gallon. Okay, there you go.